Congratulations, you've done the hard part. You cleared the frequency blocks, you deleted the trauma patterns. You learned to navigate timelines. You became the observer. Now comes the fun part. Building. Not hoping, not wishing, not manifesting. Engineering. Designing your reality with the precision of an architect and the power of a quantum field navigator. Today, I'm giving you the complete 7-layer reality engineering protocol. The exact framework I use to construct specific outcomes, relationships, opportunities, and experiences. This isn't manifestation anymore. This is reality architecture, and you're about to become the architect. You've spent 2 weeks preparing for this moment. Week 1 activated your observer consciousness, taught you to witness without identifying, gave you frequency mastery, showed you how subconscious programming works. Week 2 went deeper, gave you assumption technique, taught you timeline jumping, showed you reality anchoring, gave you quantum communication through synchronicities. And yesterday, day 14, you learned to delete trauma patterns permanently. All of that was necessary. All of that was preparation for this. For day 15, for reality engineering. Let me start by explaining what reality engineering actually is, because most people misunderstand. They think engineering reality means forcing outcomes, means manipulating circumstances, means controlling everything. But that's not engineering. That's forcing. And forcing doesn't work, creates resistance, generates struggle, produces opposite results. Reality engineering is different. Reality engineering is conscious design, is deliberate construction, is systematic building, using natural laws, using quantum mechanics, using consciousness principles. You're not forcing reality to change. You're designing the template, broadcasting the blueprint, becoming the frequency, and allowing quantum field to organize circumstances around your design, around your blueprint, around your frequency. Think of quantum field as construction material, as building blocks, as raw potential. It contains infinite possibilities, infinite timelines, infinite outcomes, but it's unorganized, unformed, undefined, until consciousness interacts with it, until observer collapses it, until frequency shapes it. Your consciousness is the architect. Your observation is the design tool. Your frequency is the construction method. You don't create reality from nothing. You organize quantum potential into specific form. You collapse infinite possibilities into chosen outcome. You shape formless field into designed experience. This is what observer effect proves. This is what quantum mechanics demonstrates. This is what consciousness research confirms. Reality responds to conscious design. Field organizes around coherent blueprint. Possibilities collapse into observed outcome. But here's why most manifestation teaching fails. It only uses one layer, usually visualization, or affirmation, or feeling. One technique, one practice, one approach, and one layer isn't enough. Isn't sufficient. Doesn't create reliable results. Because reality engineering requires multiple layers, requires integrated system, requires complete protocol. Think about building actual house. You can't just design blueprint and expect house to appear. You need foundation, need framing, need electrical, need plumbing, need roofing, need finishing. Multiple systems, multiple stages, multiple layers, all working together, all integrated completely, all executed properly. Same with reality engineering, same with conscious creation, same with deliberate manifestation. The 7-layer reality engineering protocol gives you complete system. Every layer you need, every stage required, every step necessary. Layer 1 is quantum blueprint. This is design phase. This is specification stage. This is where you get absolutely clear about exactly what you're engineering. Most people fail here immediately. They say, I want success. I want love. I want abundance. These are not blueprints. These are vague wishes, unclear desires, imprecise intentions. Quantum field cannot organize around vague, cannot construct from unclear, cannot manifest imprecise. You need exact specification, precise details, clear parameters. Not I want more money, but I receive $5,000 additional income monthly by June 30th. Not I want relationship, but I am in committed partnership with someone who has these specific qualities by this date. Not I want health, but my blood pressure is 120/80, and my weight is 165 by September 1st. See the difference? Vague versus specific, general versus precise, wish versus blueprint. Blueprint includes numbers, includes dates, includes measurable outcomes, includes sensory details. What exactly do you see when this reality exists? What exactly do you hear? What exactly do you feel physically? What exactly do you smell? What exactly do you taste? Multi-sensory blueprint, complete specification, total clarity. Write it down. Don't just think it. Write physically. Use present tense. Use already happened language. I am, I have, I experience. Not I will. Not I want. Not I hope. Present tense. Completed reality. Existing now in quantum field. Waiting for collapse into 3D experience. Read this blueprint daily. Every morning. Every evening. This imprints it on subconscious. This charges it emotionally. This broadcasts it to quantum field. This is layer 1. This is foundation. This is essential first step. Layer 2 is frequency lock. This is energetic alignment. This is becoming the person who has the blueprint reality. Not wanting it. Not hoping for it. Not trying to get it. But being it. Being the frequency of it. Being the identity of it. Being the person who already lives it. This is where most people fail. They design blueprint, but they stay in old frequency. Stay in lacking state. Stay in not having identity. And that frequency mismatch creates constant struggle, creates pushing energy, creates resistance, because you're saying, I want this, while being I don't have this. Mixed signals, contradictory broadcast, confused transmission. And quantum field receives mixed signals, receives contradictory broadcasts, receives confused transmission, and responds with mixed results, with contradictory manifestations, with confused outcomes. Frequency lock means you match your electromagnetic field to blueprint. You embody the blueprint identity. You become the person who has this reality through heart-brain coherence, through sustained alignment, through consistent embodiment. This uses day 8 frequency work, uses heart-focused breathing, uses coherence practice. But now you're not just creating coherence. You're creating specific coherence, blueprint frequency coherence, the exact electromagnetic signature of blueprint reality. How does someone with your blueprint reality feel? What's their emotional state? What's their energy level? What's their confidence level? That's the frequency. That's the alignment. That's the lock. And you maintain it. Not just during meditation, not just during practice, but all day, throughout daily life, during work, during relationships, during challenges. You stay in blueprint frequency. You maintain alignment constantly. You embody identity consistently. This is layer 2. This is sustained energetic alignment. This is becoming rather than wanting. Layer 3 is subconscious agreement. This is internal coherence. This is ensuring all parts are on board. This is clearing hidden objections, because your conscious mind might want blueprint, but your subconscious might object, might resist, might sabotage. And subconscious is 95% of your power, 95% of your processing, 95% of your operation. So if subconscious disagrees, if subconscious resists, if subconscious objects, you're operating at 5% power. You're broadcasting with 5% clarity. You're creating with 5% effectiveness. This is why clearing work from day 14 was essential. This is why trauma deletion was necessary. This is why wound healing was required. Because trauma patterns are subconscious objections, are hidden resistance, are internal sabotage. But even with trauma cleared, even with wounds healed, even with patterns deleted, you need to check for blueprint-specific objections. Ask yourself consciously, what part of me doesn't want this blueprint? What fear arises when I imagine having this? What concern emerges when I visualize this reality? Listen carefully. Listen honestly. Listen completely. Your subconscious will answer, will reveal objections, will show resistance. Maybe it's safety concern. Having that much money isn't safe. Maybe it's worthiness issue. I don't deserve that level of success. Maybe it's identity conflict. That's not who I am. Maybe it's relationship fear. That kind of partner will leave eventually. Whatever the objection is, whatever the resistance shows, whatever the concern emerges, address it. Don't ignore it. Don't suppress it. Don't bypass it. Address it through dialogue, through reframing, through theta state installation. Speak to the objecting part. Thank it for trying to protect you. Acknowledge its concern as valid from certain perspective. Then provide new information. Provide new perspective. Provide new possibility. Having money can be safe if I'm wise. I deserve success because of my inherent worth. This new identity is authentic expansion of who I am. The right partner will stay because we're aligned. Whatever reframe works, whatever perspective shifts, whatever new story resolves, then install new subconscious story through theta state, through SATS technique, through repetition before sleep. The new story where all parts agree, where internal coherence exists, where unanimous support flows. When you achieve subconscious agreement, when internal coherence establishes, when unanimous support exists, you feel it. Engineering feels easy. Blueprint feels natural. Reality construction feels effortless. No internal friction, no hidden resistance, no subconscious sabotage. This is layer 3. This is essential internal alignment. This is getting all parts on board. Layer 4 is timeline selection. This integrates day 11 and day 12 learning. This is conscious quantum navigation. This is choosing which timeline to experience. Because multiple timelines exist simultaneously. In quantum field. In probability space. In potential reality. There's timeline where your blueprint already exists. Already manifests. Already is reality. And there's timeline where it doesn't. Where you're still wanting. Still hoping. Still trying. And there's infinite timelines between. Infinite variations. Infinite possibilities. Your choices determine which timeline you collapse into. Which reality you experience. Which outcome you manifest. Most people make choices unconsciously. Make decisions from old patterns. Make selections from old identity. And those unconscious choices keep collapsing them into old timeline. Into familiar reality. Into repetitive experience. Timeline selection means making choices consciously. Making decisions from blueprint identity. Making selections from desired reality. Every decision is timeline choice. Every action is reality selection. Every response is outcome determination. So you ask constantly, throughout the day, continuously, what would blueprint reality me choose here? What would the me who already has this reality decide? What would the person already living my blueprint select? And you choose that. Decide that. Select that. Even when it feels uncomfortable. Even when it feels unfamiliar. Even when it feels scary. You choose from blueprint timeline. You decide from desired reality. You select from engineered outcome. Because that's how you collapse into that timeline. That's how you shift to that reality. That's how you manifest that outcome. And you feel the timeline's distinct signature. Each timeline has specific frequency, unique feeling, particular energy. Close your eyes. Visualize timeline where blueprint is reality. Feel that timeline. Feel its frequency. Feel its signature. Memorize that feeling, anchor that frequency, know that signature, and throughout the day, check. Am I on blueprint timeline or old timeline? Does this feel like blueprint frequency or old frequency? Is this blueprint signature or familiar signature? When you notice you've slipped to old timeline, when you feel old frequency, when you recognize familiar signature, course correct. Return to blueprint timeline. Shift back to blueprint frequency. Realign with blueprint signature. This is conscious navigation. This is deliberate timeline selection. This is quantum reality engineering. This is layer 4. This is choosing your track. This is selecting your reality. If you're understanding that you can engineer reality systematically, that conscious creation is learnable protocol, that deliberate manifestation follows precise steps, then you need to subscribe immediately. Because we're teaching you complete reality architecture, not random manifestation, not hopeful wishing, but systematic engineering, using proven protocol, using tested methods, using reliable system. So subscribe now. Turn on notifications, because tomorrow we go into probability collapse. How to make impossible timelines inevitable. How to shift from unlikely to certain. How to collapse quantum possibilities deliberately, and you absolutely cannot miss it. Layer 5 is signal broadcast. This is quantum field communication. This integrates day 13 completely. This is deliberately sending your blueprint to the field, using coherent signals, using clear transmission, using conscious broadcasting. Most people think about what they want randomly. Throughout the day, scattered thoughts, mixed signals, contradictory broadcast, and quantum field receives that chaos, receives that confusion, receives that noise, and responds with chaotic results, with confused manifestations, with noisy outcomes. Signal broadcast is different, is deliberate, is systematic, is conscious. You use the signal protocol from day 13, 3 steps: signal clarity, frequency lock, receptive mode. But now you're broadcasting your complete blueprint, your engineered reality, your designed outcome every day. Same time ideally, morning or evening. You sit in coherent state. You enter heart-brain alignment. You access theta frequency, and you broadcast your blueprint. You transmit your design. You signal your outcome. 3 to 5 minutes minimum. Focused completely. Undistracted entirely. Broadcasting cleanly. See your blueprint. Feel your blueprint. Know your blueprint. And transmit it from your heart center. Your heart's electromagnetic field is the transmitter. Your heart's coherence is the broadcast power. Your heart's frequency is the carrier wave. Let the signal emanate. Let the transmission flow. Let the broadcast saturate quantum field. With your specific blueprint. With your exact design. With your precise outcome. After 3 to 5 minutes, release it. Don't grip it. Don't hold it desperately. Don't keep broadcasting anxiously. You sent it. Field received it. Response is organizing. Trust that, know that, allow that, then stay in receptive mode. This is crucial. Most people broadcast and then ignore responses. Broadcast and then doubt. Broadcast and then contradict. But you stay receptive. Stay watching. Stay aware. Request confirmation synchronicities. Use day 13 protocol. Show me this specific sign within 24 hours. Show me that particular confirmation by this evening. Have someone mention this word 3 times today. Specific signals. Clear confirmations. Measurable responses. When synchronicities appear, when confirmations manifest, when responses arrive, document them. Write them down. Record them thoroughly. This builds signal confidence. This proves field communication. This validates broadcasting works. And this strengthens future broadcasts, amplifies future signals, increases future responses. This is layer 5. This is deliberate quantum communication. This is conscious field broadcasting. Layer 6 is physical action. This is bridge building in 3D world. This is where quantum potential meets physical reality. This is where consciousness meets matter. Because engineering isn't passive, isn't just mental, isn't only energetic. Engineering requires action, requires movement, requires participation, not forced action, not desperate doing, not anxious pushing, but inspired action, aligned movement, easeful participation. Neville Goddard called this the bridge of incidents, the path that appears as you walk it, the way that unfolds as you move. You cannot see entire bridge, cannot know complete path, cannot predict total way, but you can see next step, can know immediate action, can sense aligned movement. So you ask daily, what would blueprint reality me do today? What action would aligned person take? What movement would embodied identity make? And you follow that inspiration, that intuition, that inner guidance, not your logical plan, not your rational strategy, not your mental scheme. Those come from mind, from thinking, from analysis. But inspired action comes from field, from knowing, from alignment. It feels different, feels easeful, feels natural, even if uncomfortable, even if unfamiliar, even if scary. There's rightness to it. There's alignment in it. There's truth about it. That's inspired action. That's bridge building. That's quantum physical integration. And you trust the unfoldment. Trust the process. Trust the path. Even when it doesn't make logical sense. Even when it seems indirect. Even when it appears wrong. Because quantum field sees bigger picture, sees longer timeline, sees complete pattern. Your logical mind sees one step ahead, but field sees 1,000 steps ahead. Your rational thinking sees direct path, but field sees optimal path. Your mental planning sees obvious way, but field sees best way. So you follow inspiration, you take aligned action. You build the bridge, one step at time, one action at time, one movement at time, trusting that each step leads to next. Each action reveals next. Each movement unfolds next, until bridge is complete, until path is led, until way has brought you to blueprint reality, to engineered outcome, to designed manifestation. This is layer 6, this is essential physical action. This is 3D bridge building. Layer 7 is reality anchoring. This integrates day 12 completely. This is permanence protocol. This is making engineered reality stick. Because you can engineer reality, can manifest blueprint, can create outcome. But if you don't anchor it, if you don't lock it in, if you don't make it permanent, you drift back, slide back, return back to old reality, to familiar patterns, to previous identity, and all your engineering work becomes temporary, becomes unstable, becomes reversible. Reality anchoring prevents that, prevents drift, prevents reversal, makes changes permanent, makes shifts stable, makes manifestations lasting. This uses day 12 protocol. 4 types of anchors: identity anchoring, environmental anchoring, social anchoring, behavioral anchoring. Identity anchoring means you are the blueprint person, not becoming, not trying to be, but are present tense, current reality, existing identity. I am successful entrepreneur, not I'm becoming successful entrepreneur. I am in aligned relationship, not I'm attracting aligned relationship. I am healthy and vital, not I'm getting healthy and vital. This identity shift is fundamental, is essential, is critical, because identity determines reality. Identity creates experience. Identity manifests circumstances. When identity shifts, when you genuinely are blueprint identity, when that's not aspiration but actuality, reality must match, must reflect, must confirm, because reality mirrors identity. Circumstances reflect self-concept. Experience confirms who you are. Environmental anchoring means your physical space reflects blueprint reality. Your home, your workspace, your car, your surroundings. If blueprint includes abundance, environment shows abundance. Clean space, quality items, organized systems. If blueprint includes health, environment supports health. Healthy food available. Exercise equipment accessible. Wellness items present. If blueprint includes creativity, environment enables creativity. Creative tools ready. Inspirational items visible. Creative space dedicated. Environment matters. Space matters. Physical surroundings matter because they send constant signals to subconscious. They broadcast constant messages to field. They reinforce constant identity to consciousness. When environment matches blueprint, when space reflects desired reality, when surroundings confirm engineered outcome, anchoring strengthens, permanence increases, stability grows. Social anchoring means relationships reflect blueprint reality. People around you match blueprint frequency, support blueprint identity, confirm blueprint reality. If blueprint includes success, your circle includes successful people. If blueprint includes health, your relationships support health. If blueprint includes growth, your connections encourage growth. This doesn't mean abandoning everyone, doesn't mean cutting people off, doesn't mean isolating yourself, but it does mean some relationships naturally shift. Some connections naturally change. Some people naturally distance. As your frequency changes, as your identity shifts, as your reality transforms, resonance changes. Some people match new frequency. Some don't. Some support new identity. Some resist. Some confirm new reality. Some deny. Let natural shifting happen. Let organic changes occur. Let authentic alignment emerge. Behavioral anchoring means you act consistently from blueprint identity. Your daily actions match blueprint reality. Your habitual behaviors reflect blueprint person. Your automatic responses align with blueprint frequency. If blueprint includes discipline, behavior shows discipline. If blueprint includes confidence, actions demonstrate confidence. If blueprint includes abundance, choices reflect abundance mindset. This is living as if. This is Neville's technique. This is assumption in action. You don't wait to feel it before acting it. You act it to feel it. You don't wait for reality to change before behaving differently. You behave differently to change reality. You don't wait for circumstances to confirm before responding from blueprint. You respond from blueprint to create confirming circumstances. This is behavioral anchoring. This is action-based integration. This is doing that creates being. When all four anchors are in place, when identity, environment, social, and behavioral all align, when all four reflect blueprint reality, when all four support engineered outcome, reality locks in, becomes permanent, becomes stable, becomes default. You're not trying anymore, not maintaining consciously, not forcing deliberately. It just is, naturally, automatically, effortlessly. This is complete anchoring. This is full integration. This is permanent manifestation. This is layer 7. This is final locking mechanism. This is engineered reality made permanent. Now let me show you how all 7 layers work together, how they integrate completely, how they create systematic engineering. Layer 1 blueprint gives you exact specification, what you're engineering. Layer 2 frequency lock makes you become it. Embody the blueprint identity. Layer 3 subconscious agreement ensures no internal sabotage. All parts supporting. Layer 4 timeline selection means you choose the right track. Navigate consciously. Layer 5 signal broadcast sends blueprint to quantum field. Communicates deliberately. Layer 6 physical action builds the bridge. Takes inspired steps. Layer 7 reality anchoring makes it permanent. Locks it in completely. 7 layers. 7 stages. 7 integrated steps. Each essential. Each necessary. Each required. You don't do them once. You don't apply them sequentially, then stop. You cycle through them continuously. You maintain all 7 ongoing. Blueprint gets refined as you go, gets clearer, gets more specific. Frequency lock gets maintained daily, gets stronger, gets more stable. Subconscious agreement gets checked regularly, gets deeper, gets more complete. Timeline selection gets practiced constantly, gets more conscious, gets more automatic. Signal broadcast happens daily, gets more powerful, gets more confident. Physical action flows continuously, gets more aligned, gets more inspired. Reality anchoring strengthens progressively, gets more solid, gets more permanent. All 7 layers, all the time. All integrated completely. This is why this works when manifestation doesn't. Manifestation typically uses 1 layer, usually visualization or affirmation, 1 technique, 1 practice, 1 approach, and 1 layer isn't enough, isn't complete, isn't sufficient. You might visualize perfectly, but if frequency doesn't match, if subconscious sabotages, if you're on wrong timeline, if you don't signal field, if you take no action, if you don't anchor, visualization alone fails. Or you might affirm constantly, but if blueprint is vague, if frequency is off, if subconscious objects, if timeline is wrong, if signals are weak, if action is missing, if anchoring doesn't happen, affirmations alone fail. 1 layer isn't enough. 2 layers aren't enough. 3 layers aren't enough. You need all 7. All integrated. All applied consistently. That's what creates reliable engineering. That's what produces consistent results. That's what manifests deliberately. Right now, pause this video and leave a comment. Write exactly this. I am a conscious reality engineer. Write those words. Because when you do, you're declaring your new identity. You're claiming your engineering power. You're announcing your architectural mastery. So do it now. Scroll down, comment. I am a conscious reality engineer. Then come back and we'll complete the protocol. Now let me give you the 30-day reality build challenge. This is how you prove the protocol to yourself. This is how you test your engineering power. This is how you build absolute certainty and systematic creation. Choose 1 specific outcome to engineer, not multiple projects, not several goals, not various desires. 1 outcome, 1 blueprint, 1 engineered reality. Make it specific enough to measure. Make it clear enough to verify. Make it time-bound enough to test. Not someday I'll have success, but by this specific date, this measurable outcome will manifest. Financial examples work well for first engineering project because they're objectively measurable. Either money appears or it doesn't. Either income increases or it doesn't. Either opportunity manifests or it doesn't. Clear verification. Obvious results. Undeniable proof, for example, $5,000 additional income in 30 days. Or specific job offer from specific company type by specific date. Or 3 new clients with specific characteristics by month end. Or sale of specific item for specific price within time frame. Relationship examples can work, but make them specific enough to verify. Not just any relationship, but relationship with person who has these specific qualities. Or first date with aligned person by this date. Or reconciliation with specific person showing specific changed behaviors. Or meeting 3 potential partners through specific method by time frame. Health examples need measurable metrics, not just feel better, but specific biomarker at specific number by specific date. Blood pressure at specific reading, weight at specific number, lab result at specific value, pain level at specific reduction. Measurable, verifiable, testable. Creative or career examples need concrete deliverables, not just work on project, but complete specific project by specific date. Not just improve at skill, but achieve specific skill level verified by specific method. Not just grow business, but reach specific revenue or specific client count by specific date. Whatever you choose, whatever you engineer, whatever you build, make it specific. Make it measurable. Make it time-bound. Write it as Layer 1 blueprint. Complete specification. All sensory details. Exact numbers. Specific dates. Clear parameters. This becomes your engineering project. You're building focus. Your construction target for 30 days. Then apply all 7 layers daily, every single day, for full 30 days. No skipping, no breaks, no exceptions. Morning routine includes blueprint review. Read your written blueprint. Feel it emotionally. See it clearly. Then frequency lock. 10 minutes heart-brain coherence. Embodying blueprint identity. Becoming blueprint person. Maintaining blueprint frequency. Then subconscious check. Quick internal scan. Any resistance today? Any objections arising? Any sabotage detected? If yes, address it. If no, proceed. Then timeline selection. Check your frequency. Am I on blueprint timeline or old timeline? Course correct if needed. Align with blueprint track. Choose blueprint reality. Then signal broadcast. 3 to 5 minutes coherent transmission. Broadcasting blueprint to quantum field. Requesting confirmation synchronicities. Staying receptive to responses. Throughout the day, physical action. What inspired action appears? What aligned movement feels right? What intuitive guidance emerges? Follow it, take the step, build the bridge. Even small actions, even tiny steps, even subtle movements, all matter, all count, all contribute. Evening routine includes reality anchoring check. How did I show up today? Did identity match blueprint? Did environment reflect blueprint? Did relationships support blueprint? Did behaviors align with blueprint? Where was alignment strong? Where needs strengthening? Adjust accordingly. Refine continuously. Improve progressively. This is daily practice. This is ongoing application. This is systematic engineering. Every day. All 7 layers. Full 30 days, document everything thoroughly. Keep engineering journal. Date every entry. Layer 1 blueprint stays same. But note any refinements. Any clarity increases. Any specification additions. Layer 2 frequency work. How long maintained coherence? How stable was alignment? How consistent was embodiment? Layer 3 subconscious. Any resistance encountered? Any objections addressed? Any agreement strengthened? Layer 4 timeline. How many times slipped to old timeline? How quickly course corrected? How stable was new timeline? Layer 5 signals. What synchronicities appeared? What confirmations manifested? What responses arrived? Layer 6 action. What inspired steps taken? What aligned movements made? What intuitive guidance followed? Layer 7 anchoring. What identity shifts noticed? What environmental changes made? What relationship alignments occurred? What behavioral patterns changed? And document results. What happened? What manifested? What appeared? What changed? Be honest. Be objective. Be thorough. If money was blueprint, did money appear? How much from where? In what time frame? If relationship was blueprint, did person appear? With what qualities? Through what circumstances? By when? If health was blueprint, did metrics change? To what numbers? Verified how? By when? If creative project was blueprint, did it complete? To what standard? Resulting in what? By when? Objective verification, measurable results, clear outcomes. Not interpretation, not maybe, not sort of. Either it manifested as specified or it didn't. Either engineering worked or it didn't. Either protocol produced results or it didn't. This honesty is crucial. This objectivity is necessary. This thoroughness is essential. If outcome manifested as specified, if blueprint became reality, if engineering succeeded, celebrate thoroughly, acknowledge completely, document extensively. What worked? What was strongest layer? What created most momentum? What felt most powerful? What would you repeat? What would you amplify? Learn from success. Understand what worked. Replicate what succeeded. This builds engineering confidence. This proves protocol works. This establishes your power. You're not lucky. You're not blessed. You're not special case. You're engineer who followed protocol, who applied system, who executed steps. And system worked. Protocol delivered. Steps produced. Because engineering is reliable, protocol is repeatable, system is consistent, when applied correctly, when executed completely, when followed precisely. If outcome didn't manifest as specified, if blueprint didn't materialize, if engineering didn't succeed, analyze honestly. Don't conclude protocol doesn't work. Conclude execution needs refinement. Which layer was weakest? Where was application inconsistent? What was skipped or rushed? Layer 1 blueprint. Was it truly specific? Truly measurable? Truly clear? Or was it secretly vague? Actually unclear? Somewhat imprecise? Layer 2 frequency. Did you maintain alignment? Stay in coherence? Embody consistently? Or did you fluctuate? Drop out frequently? Embody inconsistently? Layer 3 subconscious. Did you clear resistance? Address objections? Create agreement? Or did hidden blocks remain? Unaddressed fears persist? Internal conflict continue? Layer 4 timeline. Did you stay on blueprint track? Choose from new reality? Navigate consciously? Or did you slip to old timeline? Decide from old identity? Navigate unconsciously? Layer 5 signals. Did you broadcast daily? Maintain coherence during? Stay receptive after? Or did you skip days? Broadcast while distracted? Ignore responses? Layer 6 action. Did you take inspired steps? Follow aligned guidance? Build the bridge? Or did you wait passively? Ignore intuition? Avoid action? Layer 7 anchoring. Did you shift identity? Change environment? Align relationships? Adjust behaviors? Or did you stay in old identity? Keep old environment? Maintain old relationships? Continue old behaviors? Honest analysis. Objective assessment. Thorough evaluation. Shows exactly where refinement is needed. Exactly what needs strengthening. Exactly how to improve. Then engineer again. Choose new outcome or same outcome. Apply refined protocol. Execute strengthened system. Implement improved steps. Second engineering attempts almost always succeed. Because you learned from first. Because you refined approach. Because you strengthened weak layers. And protocol works. System delivers. Engineering succeeds. When applied correctly. When executed completely. When refined continuously. Some people master engineering in first attempt. Some need 2 or 3 attempts. Some need 5 attempts. Doesn't matter. Keep engineering. Keep applying. Keep refining. Until you prove to yourself beyond doubt, beyond question, beyond uncertainty, that you can engineer reality deliberately, that you can create outcomes systematically, that you can manifest specifically, through protocol, through system, through engineering. Now let me show you common engineering mistakes that prevent manifestation. First mistake is skipping layers. People want shortcuts, want quick results, want easy path. So they skip layers they think aren't important, skip steps they think aren't necessary, skip stages they think don't matter. They do blueprint but skip frequency work. Or they do frequency but skip subconscious clearing. Or they do timeline selection but skip signal broadcast. Or they signal but skip physical action. Or they act but skip anchoring, and then they wonder why engineering didn't work, why blueprint didn't manifest, why outcome didn't appear. Because you can't skip layers, can't bypass steps, can't omit stages. Each layer is essential. Each step is necessary. Each stage is required. The system is integrated. The protocol is complete. The process is whole. Remove one layer and system breaks. Skip one step and protocol fails. Omit one stage and process collapses. Second mistake is unclear blueprint. People think they're specific, but they're actually vague. They say, I want financial freedom. What does that mean? What specific amount, by what date, and what form? They say, I want loving relationship. With whom? With what qualities? By when? Under what circumstances? They say, I want successful business. Measured how? Producing what? By when? Starting when? These feel specific to person saying them, but they're vague to quantum field, unclear to subconscious, imprecise for manifestation. Quantum field needs exact specification, needs clear parameters, needs precise details, like computer code, like architectural blueprint, like engineering schematic, exact numbers, specific dates, measurable outcomes, clear verification methods. The more specific your blueprint, the more specific your manifestation. The clearer your design, the clearer your result. The more precise your specification, the more precise your outcome. Third mistake is frequency instability. People enter coherence during meditation, feel aligned during practice, embody blueprint during session, but then they leave practice, enter daily life, face challenges, and frequency drops. Alignment breaks, embodiment stops. They spend 23 hours in old frequency, 1 hour in new frequency, and wonder why new frequency doesn't manifest. Because manifestation responds to dominant frequency, responds to consistent state, responds to sustained alignment. Not peak moments, not practice sessions, not meditation highs, but average state, dominant frequency, consistent alignment. If you're aligned 1 hour and misaligned 23 hours, misalignment is dominant. Old frequency is average. Inconsistent state is norm. And that manifests. That creates reality. That becomes experience. Frequency lock means maintaining alignment throughout day. Not just during practice, not just during meditation, but during work, during relationships, during challenges, during stress, during difficulty, during normalcy. You catch drops, you course correct, you return to alignment, dozens of times daily, hundreds of times weekly, until alignment becomes automatic, until frequency becomes stable, until embodiment becomes default. This takes practice, takes consistency, takes commitment, but it's essential, it's necessary, it's required for engineering to work, for blueprint to manifest, for outcome to appear. Now let me show you common engineering mistakes that prevent manifestation. First mistake is skipping layers. People want shortcuts, want quick results, want easy path. So they skip layers they think aren't important, skip steps they think aren't necessary, skip stages they think don't matter. They do blueprint but skip frequency work. Or they do frequency but skip subconscious clearing. Or they do timeline selection but skip signal broadcast. Or they signal but skip physical action. Or they act but skip anchoring. And then they wonder why engineering didn't work, why blueprint didn't manifest, why outcome didn't appear. Because you can't skip layers, can't bypass steps, can't omit stages. Each layer is essential. Each step is necessary. Each stage is required. The system is integrated. The protocol is complete. The process is whole. Remove one layer and system breaks. Skip one step and protocol fails. Omit one stage and process collapses. Second mistake is unclear blueprint. People think they're specific, but they're actually vague. They say, I want financial freedom. What does that mean? What specific amount, by what date, and what form? They say, I want loving relationship. With whom? With what qualities? By when? Under what circumstances? They say, I want successful business. Measured how? Producing what? By when? Starting when? These feel specific to person saying them, but they're vague to quantum field, unclear to subconscious, imprecise for manifestation. Quantum field needs exact specification, needs clear parameters, needs precise details, like computer code, like architectural blueprint, like engineering schematic, exact numbers, specific dates, measurable outcomes, clear verification methods. The more specific your blueprint, the more specific your manifestation. The clearer your design, the clearer your result. The more precise your specification, the more precise your outcome. Third mistake is frequency instability. People enter coherence during meditation, feel aligned during practice, embody blueprint during session, but then they leave practice, enter daily life, face challenges, and frequency drops. Alignment breaks, embodiment stops. They spend 23 hours in old frequency, 1 hour in new frequency, and wonder why new frequency doesn't manifest. Because manifestation responds to dominant frequency, responds to consistent state, responds to sustained alignment. Not peak moments, not practice sessions, not meditation highs, but average state, dominant frequency, consistent alignment. If you're aligned 1 hour and misaligned 23 hours, misalignment is dominant. Old frequency is average. Inconsistent state is norm. And that manifests. That creates reality. That becomes experience. Frequency lock means maintaining alignment throughout day. Not just during practice, not just during meditation, but during work, during relationships, during challenges, during stress, during difficulty, during normalcy. You catch drops, you course correct, you return to alignment, dozens of times daily, hundreds of times weekly, until alignment becomes automatic, until frequency becomes stable, until embodiment becomes default. This takes practice, takes consistency, takes commitment, but it's essential, it's necessary, it's required for engineering to work, for blueprint to manifest, for outcome to appear. Sixth mistake is weak signal broadcasting. People broadcast once, or broadcast occasionally, or broadcast inconsistently, and expect quantum field to organize entire reality around single broadcast. But field responds to sustained signals, responds to consistent broadcasts, responds to persistent transmission. Not one time, not sporadic, not irregular, but daily, but regular, but consistent. You broadcast daily, you signal consistently, you transmit persistently, every day. Same time ideally, same duration minimally, same coherence always, and you stay receptive. You watch for responses, you recognize synchronicities, you document confirmations, because field is responding, is reflecting, is confirming. But if you're not watching, not recognizing, not receiving, you miss responses, and think field isn't responding. Think broadcasting isn't working, think protocol has failed. But field responded. Broadcasting worked. You just weren't receiving, so broadcast daily, and receive continuously, signal persistently, and watch constantly. Let's integrate everything we covered today. You learned that reality engineering is different from manifestation. Engineering is precise, is systematic, is reliable. Manifestation is vague, is hopeful, is inconsistent. Engineering uses complete protocol, uses integrated system, uses all necessary layers. Manifestation typically uses one technique, one practice, one approach, and one layer isn't enough, isn't sufficient, doesn't create consistent results. You need all 7 layers, all working together, all applied consistently, That's what creates reliable engineering. That's what produces dependable results. That's what manifests deliberately. You receive the complete 7-layer reality engineering protocol. Layer 1 quantum blueprint with exact specification, measurable outcomes, sensory details, and timeline parameters. Layer 2 frequency lock through sustained alignment, consistent embodiment, and maintained coherence. Layer 3 subconscious agreement by addressing objections, clearing resistance, and creating internal unanimity. Layer 4 timeline selection through conscious navigation, decision from blueprint identity, and complete commitment. Layer 5 signal broadcast using daily transmission, coherent signals, and receptive awareness. Layer 6 physical action through inspired steps, aligned movement, and bridge building. Layer 7 reality anchoring via identity shift, environment change, relationship alignment, and behavior adjustment. 7 layers, 7 stages, 7 integrated steps. You learned how to apply all 7 layers together. Not sequentially, then stop, but continuously cycling. All layers maintained, all stages active, all steps ongoing. Blueprint gets refined, frequency stays locked, subconscious stays aligned, timeline stays chosen, signals stay broadcast, action stays flowing, anchoring stays strengthening, daily practice, consistent application, ongoing engineering. This is how systematic creation works. This is how deliberate manifestation functions. This is how reliable engineering operates. You received the 30-day reality build challenge. Choose one specific outcome. Apply all 7 layers daily. Document everything thoroughly. Measure results objectively. Learn from feedback honestly. If engineering succeeds, if outcome manifests, if blueprint materializes, understand what worked. Replicate what succeeded. Build on what created results. If engineering doesn't succeed, if outcome doesn't manifest, if blueprint doesn't materialize, analyze execution honestly, identify weak layers, refine application, and engineer again. Second attempts almost always succeed. Because you learned, because you refined, because you strengthened, and protocol works when applied correctly. System delivers when executed completely. Engineering succeeds when refined continuously. You learned common engineering mistakes that prevent manifestation. Skipping layers breaks system. Unclear blueprint creates vague results. Frequency instability produces inconsistent outcomes. Subconscious sabotage dominates conscious desire. Wrong timeline persistence creates divided results. Weak signal broadcasting gets weak field response. No physical action prevents quantum potential from materializing. No reality anchoring makes manifestation temporary. Avoid these mistakes. Apply all layers completely. Execute system thoroughly. Follow protocol precisely. And engineering works. Manifestation happens. Reality construction succeeds. You are no longer someone who hopes reality changes. You are no longer someone who wishes outcomes appear. You are no longer someone who manifests randomly. You are a conscious reality engineer, a deliberate outcome architect, a systematic experience builder. You understand the mechanism. You know the protocol. You have the system to design reality precisely, to construct outcomes systematically, to engineer experiences deliberately, not through force, not through manipulation, not through control, but through clear design, through coherent broadcasting, through conscious navigation, through inspired action, through complete anchoring. This is your power. This is your capability. This is your mastery. Over the next 30 days, apply this protocol completely. Choose your engineering project. Write your quantum blueprint. Lock your frequency consistently. Clear your subconscious resistance. Select your timeline completely. Broadcast your signals daily. Take your inspired action. Anchor your reality progressively. All 7 layers. Every single day. Full 30 days. Document your process. Measure your results. Learn from feedback. Refine your execution. And prove to yourself beyond doubt that you can engineer reality. That you can create deliberately. That you can manifest systematically. Not sometimes. Not maybe. Not if you're lucky. But consistently. But reliably. But systematically. Because engineering is science. Protocol is method. System is mechanism. And science works consistently. Method produces reliably. Mechanism functions systematically. Tomorrow we go deeper into quantum mechanics. Into probability collapse. Into possibility navigation. Day 16 teaches you to identify probability fields. To assess likelihood of timelines. To shift from unlikely to inevitable. To collapse quantum possibilities rapidly. This is advanced engineering. This is quantum-level creation. This is possibility manipulation. Using everything you've learned. Using complete foundation. Using total clearing. Using systematic building. All integrated. All amplified. All quantum-powered. So I'll see you tomorrow. In day 16. In probability collapse. In quantum possibility engineering. Week 3 is building phase, where clearing meets creating, where healing enables engineering, where foundation supports construction. Stay engineering, stay building, stay creating. You've completed 14 days of intensive training. Week 1 gave you observer consciousness, frequency mastery, and subconscious understanding. Week 2 gave you assumption technique, timeline navigation, reality anchoring, quantum communication, and trauma deletion. Today, day 15, gave you complete reality engineering protocol, 7 layers, complete system, total method. Tomorrow begins advanced quantum work, probability collapse, possibility navigation, timeline optimization. But today, celebrate, acknowledge, recognize. You've built complete foundation. You've cleared all blocks. You've learned systematic engineering. You're no longer unconscious experiencer. You're conscious creator. You're no longer passive receiver. You're active engineer. You're no longer hoping manifester. You're systematic architect. This is your identity now. This is your capability now. This is your reality now. Engineer deliberately. Build systematically. Create consciously. This is conscious observer. Engineer your reality. Build your blueprint. Create your world.